Randall?
Hey, Rick, and this was a somber event at times, but also uplifting at others. It's the 5th year in a row for the Night of Remembrance, a time to reflect on the scourge of gun violence while celebrating the lives of the victims, including a member of a rising music group who was murdered exactly 1 year ago.
John Taylor Jr.
The names of each and every one of the 150 homicide victims were read aloud as a candle was lit to honor that victim of violence.
Jason Stormbreaker.
Each person died a violent death, leaving distraught family and friends behind to mourn. One of the first people killed by gun violence in 2023 was 43-year-old Jeremiah Buckner. Buckner was a founding member of Lincoln Bridge, a Louisville musical group who rose to fame on nationally broadcast singing shows. Buckner was shot and killed a year ago in the Russell neighborhood. The talented singer, who went by the stage name Echo, died from multiple gunshot wounds.
When you got a guy like Echo, who's a straight shooter, no smoking, no drinking, didn't go to clubs, and he advocated for nonviolence in the community, and to lose his life to violence, man, it's unbelievable. Still feel it to this day, man.
Rome Kimbrough and the rest of Lincoln Bridge honored Buckner's memory during the Night of Remembrance at Bates Memorial Baptist in Smoketown. Rich and poor, black and white, young and old, all were honored, including those who died inside Old National Bank in April. Religious leaders from different faiths spoke to those gathered, condemning gun violence on the streets of Louisville. In 2023, there were 150 homicides in the city, compared to 157 in 2022, a 4% decrease. Non-fatal shootings dropped 8%.
LMPD is doing a better job at solving fatal and non-fatal shootings, so families like yours can have some closure and some justice.
But not everyone gets that closure. The members of Lincoln Bridge haven't received justice yet, as the murder of Jeremiah Buckner remains unsolved. While Kimbrough waits for an arrest, he can only do what everyone in this church is doing, living through the devastation of losing someone close to them while trying to heal.
You got to take this opportunity to lift up the ones who've gone on before us and to pay tribute to the loved ones who've lost.
One of the pastors who spoke tonight mentioned another group of people who died in 2023 but aren't usually celebrated. Those are the 112 people who died by suicide in Louisville last year. They were honored tonight as well. Reporting live in the studio, Randall Cam, WOKY News.